Hey YouTube, I'm shutting down the site where I was selling courses, and in the process I thought I would just at least upload the videos, the courses that I'd made already onto YouTube, just as a way of archiving them, but also just putting it out into the world for free now that the way to buy them is no longer there. So what follows is a bunch of videos in this playlist about how to set up Instagram and how to use Instagram that was previously locked behind a paywall in a course, and so now is available for free. So there might be some references to go checking out my courses and things like that you'll just have to ignore. You can just watch them on the YouTube channel. My gift to you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. See you next time. I'm just going to take a quick selfie here. That's kind of gross. Blurry. Try that again. Obviously, I'm shaking a bit when I hit record. Okay, so along the top, you have stickers to add to your photo if you want. And so these can be your location, where it'll put where you are in the world. Some of them you can tap on to get different views. Current weather, winter here, 19F. You can then pinch and zoom these, spin them around as you like. The current time. Tap again. You can add a second view, so that this adds just like a way to put your face in the the view, and again you can tap to get a different view of that. It's kind of cool if you were taking a photo of something and then you wanted to add your reaction to it, maybe on top of the story. You can add all sorts of stickers and icons, and of course just your regular basic emoji are down here if you go far enough. Just gonna add cool the shades guy. So that's that. You can also draw. There's a few different ways you can draw. You can draw with a pen. You can draw with a marker. Of course, you can change the color. And you can also draw with sort of like a highlighter, like this one for neon glow look to things. And then there's an eraser to get rid of stuff if you, just the stuff you've drawn, not the stickers. And then you can also draw with hearts. Right? I think those are hearts. I don't know what that. You can adjust the scale of what you're drawing with, the sort of your tip marker. Swipe to get more colors here if you want. Back to that marker, change the scale again of it if I wanted to. Okay, done. Then finally I can add words. Here's a weird picture. Change the color of what I've got there. Can tap the A at the top here to put a background behind it so that if it's hard to see maybe over top of whatever your photo is, or a semi-transparent background or no background. And you can align it left or right or center. And if I hit done, again, I can move that around, zoom it in, zoom it out, twirl it around, etc. So at this point now, it's almost ready to go. Looks great. And my final options are, I can save this photo to my camera roll on my phone. I can tap plus to your story, so then it'll just automatically get added to my story. Or I can send it to specific people if I wanted to just send this as a private message, not public to my story. So in this case, I'm going to do add it to my story since I don't have any friends to send things to. I'll tap that. And now, as soon as it finishes uploading, it's been added to my public story. It'll be available and viewable for 24 hours. So whenever this video happens to go out and you're watching this now, it's probably 24 hours beyond when I posted that. So that photo will be long since gone off the internet, off Instagram. So you wouldn't be able to see that, but maybe I'll have posted something in the meantime onto this demo account. Other people can come along and tap and view your story. So they would see it like this, and they would see that if I press and hold, I can sort of lock it on screen. But that's as long as it's on screen for. I can go back and view it again if I want. Again, as long as it's within that 24-hour window, it'll stay there. While I'm viewing it, because it's my photo, I can tap in the bottom right corner and I can delete it from my story if it's something embarrassing or something I realize I shouldn't have shared. I can save it, again, saving the photo to my profile, or to my camera roll, sorry, I could share this now as a post, in which case then it would actually be permanently available on Instagram for as long as I leave that post up. Or I can go into story settings, which is worth covering here just to cover a little bit of this. So in story settings, you can hide your story. I don't have any followers, so I can't hide it from anybody, but if you wanted to hide your story from people, that would hide it from them, but it wouldn't lock your account from them. So it's kind of an important distinction in terms of sort of, I guess, security or, just internet weirdos as they come along that you want to maybe not be making aware of where you are within the last 24 hours, right? Because if you post something to your story, there's kind of the assumption, although you can grab stuff from your camera roll, there's kind of the assumption that it's happening now or happened, relatively recently. If you want to, you can allow message reply, so people can reply to your story. If you want anybody to be available to, only people that you followed, or you can turn it completely off so nobody can send you a message in response to a message that you've posted on the stories. If you want to allow people to share your story, in which case people can share your story, a post to your story, with someone else in a direct message privately. So on Instagram. So it doesn't go off the Instagram. It's still held within Instagram, but you can allow people to share that. And then finally, if you want to automatically save every photo or video that you've taken to your story, also to your local phone's camera roll, you can turn that on. That way you don't have to, you can optionally delete it later, but you'll always have a record of it. That can be handy, especially if you're doing this for work or a business or something like that, and maybe you want to share those things elsewhere, like on Facebook, or maybe put together a video collection that you share to YouTube of a bunch of your stories. That kind of thing can be handy to be done. So we'll tap done in the top left. And the final icon there is, I'll just go back to my story, is how you can share. So again, I could share this with people if I had, I'll just find my own personal account. I could share it with myself, add a message to it. This is so cool, of course. And hit send. So once it's sent, then over on my personal account, I would have a private message from myself, keep track here, linking me back to that story. One other cool thing you can do in the stories section is if I go and add a story, and we can record a video this time, let's say. Just a video of me looking around my office. A video this time, let's say. I'm going to mute the audio up here because I don't want the audio to go. When I'm typing something, I can mention another account on Instagram. So I can say, again, use the @ sign, and it'll start finding all the Chris's. This is you, obviously. Put the little background behind it, drag it down here. And then use maybe the hashtag selfie. And then post that to my story. So then on my personal account, again, I would get a notification that Chris Testing Instagram, the account, has shared something with you on their story, and it would send me a link to that story. So here's in the earlier message I sent, I showed how you can comment and send someone a message. So that's in my messages on my personal account. I've got that comment referencing my account, so I can check it out. I could like it now, leave a comment. And like the comment even. All of these things just add up to a bunch of likes that are kind of like they said on Whose Line Is It Anyways? The points are all made up and they don't matter anyway. But it does help you track engagement. So just more notifications where I've got in my Heart social tab here, I've got a comment. I've got someone liked my comment, someone liked my post, and they started following. All, of course, my own personal account, but still, it still counts. I can check my profile to see I've got 4 posts. I've got 1 follower, and I'm following 1 person. Finally, with stories, the one thing I'll do is you can now archive your stories so that it can be viewed later on your account. So just like you can archive photos and bookmark them for later, these are for public view. So if I go back to my story, I can see down at the bottom there's a highlight. So I can tap that and I can add a highlight. Let's call it selfie videos. Add that. So that'll stay on my profile forever until I remove them. So if I go over to my profile, now I can see selfie videos as a category of stories that I've saved. And so I could keep adding to that. I can add different categories again here. Add this one to that category, or to a new category, selfie photos, let's say. So now somebody else can check out my profile, and any story items that I've wanted to save and wanted people to be able to see later, just kind of showing interest or showing why they might follow me or what I'm up to, they could basically click here and tap here and be able to see previous story items that I've shared. It's a way of highlighting interesting stuff you've done. Maybe you're on a trip and you wanted to highlight certain things that you shared to your story from a trip, or just always, every time you take maybe a video of you playing guitar or a video of you playing sledding outside. I'm looking at the snow and you want to just have that as a category, of a way of sorting some of your stories and saving them for later. It's a way that Instagram has made that possible.